it's important for rugby players to get to play the highest level that they can, just so that when they're older, they go, well, I got to that point. But there are two pathways available to them at this age, at this development age group. We've got the professional route, which is the player development group, Northampton and Will Parkin and his group. And then we've got the East Midlands route, which is more of the aspirational route. This is where they would go to under 18s and then Midlands, and then hopefully to get England capped.
We do a good development day, and then we have a good programme up until now, so about 5 months with them. And I think it's crucial in their development. Some of them have chosen different pathways, and they may have had a few disappointments along the way. So to get them into this environment, which they can thrive on and enjoy, is massively important for them.
My name is John Stables, Sanders Tasker Stables. I'm very pleased with the setup this year. It's a very player-focused setup. Welfare of the players is very important. And there's a really good balance between them enjoying it and a very professional approach to how they play, technically how they play, and then off-field in terms of personal training and nutrition. The coaching team seem very professional, and there's a very clear objective to helping the players develop their rugby.
The East Midlands pathway is fantastic for the players. I think it takes them away from the professional route and gives them a really good aspirational pathway to go on for Midlands and hopefully beyond into England counties, which if they're not involved in professional setups can get them into National League clubs and develop their rugby and develop them as rugby players.
Typically what we would do is we bring the players together for a development day or development weekend, and then we would analyse their core skills, their physicality, their technical ability and the tactical gamesmanship, and from there we would bring a squad together for the potential development to play rugby at a higher level.
So we had a full selection day at Bedford School back in October, and we invited all the DPP bodies along with their players. We also invited some players from clubs that we'd known that we'd scouted to come along, and they played a tournament. At the end of the tournament we sat down as a committee and decided which players we thought could take that next step into the East Midlands structure, bearing in mind we'd like this to be a 3-year programme and beyond into under-20s.
We're here to make sure that we look after the well-being and safety of the players. You know, they're developing adults. Rugby's a fantastic sport, but it is just a game, and we're here to make sure that we look after the well-being and safety of the players. You know, they're developing adults, and we need to protect them so they can go on and play rugby for a long period of time after East Midlands. That's the way I see it. So whether you're a physiotherapist or a sports therapist or even a first aider, having someone around just to signpost players, parents, coaches to where that player can sort of get the help and advice they need to recover from an injury is really important. So it's quite an important role just being at the training sessions and match day, just to provide that.
So for us, we need to ensure that we're working really closely with Steve Chisholm and the other guys on the East Midlands Committee across all of the different age groups, not just 18s or 16s. It's really key that we're getting that development areas at 15s and 17s as well. Ultimately for us at 16s, we're able to allow kids to go and play for the East Midlands, represent their county, get their county ties and the heritage that is in the East Midlands. It's a great opportunity for boys to go and represent them. When they reach 18 for us, we obviously take some boys through into our senior academy, but for a lot of the boys they do get released from our programmes, and we play a huge part in ensuring that those boys stay in rugby. So whether they go off to university, they go off to different clubs to continue playing, we can ensure that those boys are coming back to represent the East Midlands at under-20s and seniors.
This means a lot because I've worked hard over the past few years. Didn't make it through injury last year, so to come back and work my way into the squad's been quite. It feels good. It feels like my work's paid off. It's a really good quality of rugby. Probably the best quality of rugby that I've played. A good bunch of lads that you get on well with all of them, so I'm enjoying it.
I played East Midlands, and to me putting that shirt on was a different feel to club,
I played here at Kettering, and I was lucky enough to play at Northampton, but pulling on the East Mids rows was something else. It was a different phase, if you like, in playing rugby, and it meant an enormous amount to me.
Certainly from my point of view, in terms of the lads, obviously we've got aspirations to play at the highest level, and whatever is hopefully potentially as a professional, and from my point of view as a Northampton Saint, it would be great to see them run out in green, black and gold. Some of the lads who have done that have gone through the East Midlands process. From my personal upbringing and coming through the rugby pathway, I started out in East Midlands under 16s, and that's how I got my shot at playing for Northampton, and I was lucky enough to play for Northampton for a long while, and I think East Midlands has worked well for me because I'm still playing, I'm still in the game, I'm still involved with coaching and also playing locally.